Garden. Last time we started a ton of warm weather crops to get for our fall garden. This time we're going to be starting some cool weather crops, but I'm also going to show you what to do with some of those warm weather crops. For example, we've got this basil that we multi-sowed, and it's got quite a lot of seedlings per cell, too many. So I'm going to show you how to separate them. First step is the same as always. We're not going to yank on the plant. We're going to support the soil, turn it over. Look at all those roots. And we're gonna a little boop from the bottom. Okay. Even the roots smell like basil. Now these are a little bit older or more mature than they should be for separating. Ideally, you want to separate them when they just have one set of the seed leaves. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of break the soil up. Over a tray is helpful so that you don't have a big mess. And I'm just kind of teasing each plant apart. Now, Monty Don, he grabs the leaf and pulls, and this ensures you don't break your stem. Ta-da! Now, I find it easiest to have an empty cell. Put the roots in all the way so that they're at the bottom. Sprinkle it in. And I adjust as I go to try to get the seedling fairly centered. And that's it. We're gonna start a whole bunch of cold weather crops. Now it is way too warm to start these directly outside or even to leave the tray outside. I'll be starting these and then I'll be putting the tray inside for the next month and a half while they get bigger, and then I'll be transplanting them outside. End of September, early October is when I'll be getting my brassicas outside. Okay, broccoli is probably one of my favorites. Now you can see their seeds are they're small, but they're not like minuscule. But I'm gonna do 2 per cell. I've had trouble with germinating broccoli. I haven't found a secret yet. So my secret that I'm trying today is really just multi-sow. Put a couple in each one. Now, if multiple come up, I won't separate them. I'll just cut off the smaller ones, whichever one's weaker. It'll be survival of the fittest. Ooh, broccolini. I want to do some broccolini. So broccolini, it only takes 48 days. Let's do that. That sounds way better. Here, let's move this guy. Sorry, bud. I'm gonna try this again. Ooh, yeah. Still gonna do 2 seeds per. Now I've had really high pest pressure. With all of my brassicas, so I'm gonna try netting a bed, putting up a physical barrier to try to keep those stupid cabbage moths and caterpillars out of my broccoli. Because man alive, they go to town and they eat the whole thing and you got nothing left. All right, and that's pretty much how all the brassicas are gonna go. We're just gonna get everything a quick plant. Now the older your seeds are, the more seeds I try, because it's gonna have a lower germination rate. So these seeds are about a year old, so I'm doing like 3 or 4 per. I'm doing 3 or 4 per cell. But really, our goal is just to get at least one that grows in each cell. Let's knock out these kales. Now I'm doing 2 different kinds of kales. I prefer the look and the taste of the Lacento, but the Premier is a lot easier to clean the leaves on, so I plant some of both. I mainly use kale in salads and soups. Now these seeds are pretty fresh, so I'm doing 2 per. And then just a tip, when I pour them back in, I pour them over the tray where I planted them, so if it spills, I get extra seeds started. You'll also notice that I have it laid out, and then as I plant, I take off the seed packet. That's how I keep track, and that's how I prevent myself from double sowing. 1 little baby seed in this one. Now you'll notice I'm not really placing these really deep. I'm putting them basically on top. They're fairly small seeds. Now I will get them under a little bit, but I'll show you what I do. Okay, so what I do is I take another and I just press down. Okay. Now they've got a firm base, and then I just take a little bit, sprinkle on top. And that makes it a lot easier to control the depth. Last brassica is Bok Choy or Pak Choy. I don't know if there's a difference, but it's a small cabbage. I like it best in a stir fry or a soup. Just doing a couple per cell. Not all of them made it in the package, but that's okay because I was right over where they go. Sage. I have never gotten sage to grow from seed, but there's a garden channel that I watch. I can't remember her name. She's in Arizona. She does a really good job. She said it grows really easily from seed. So we're just gonna go ham and put a bunch of seeds in. And we're hoping that we get a couple of sage plants. We're gonna start a bunch of bunching onions. Now, onions is the state vegetable, I'm pretty sure. Their seeds are I would say medium, pretty average. They're not as big as a sunflower or as small as like a celosia or something ridiculous. But they don't mind, alliums don't mind their roots disturbed, so I sow thickly. Now, these seeds, I am using up all my old seeds, so we're going a little bit crazy, and we're gonna see what happens. But onions is super easy. Now, I haven't had to buy green onions from the store for, I want to say 3-4 years, until this year when all my green onions got taken out by the hailstorm, but they're coming back and I'm excited to add to them. I use green onions in a lot of things. I use them in pretty much every breakfast with my eggs. I use them, I make my own dips. I use them in stir fries. I use them in pretty much any dish you can think of, soups, salads. I love onions, but if you're not that big of a fan, don't start as many. But they're super easy to grow here, so I'm hoping that this works. Now, these are some leftover seeds. These are not the ideal varieties, but I'm going to start them anyways. 1015s are sweet onions that are renowned here in Texas. I need to order some. I said that last time and I forgot, so I'm reminding myself again. If you're starting them from seeds, you start them now and then you transplant out into the garden early to mid-October. That's when you're going to put your garlic and your onions in the ground. And you can even, if you're doing sets from the store or the nursery, those you usually do early winter, so right after the new year, sometime in January or February. I like to get them in as early as possible. They need that cold spell in order for them to know to bulb up. So onions, yeah, so just get them in, get them ordered. If you're looking at what kind of seeds, I'm pretty sure that we are short day. There's all sorts of charts, and I'll link one down below or pop one up on the screen so that you can see. You just need to make sure you're getting the right kind of variety for your area. Short day, long day, whatever it's called. Now, botanical interests, they have a ton of information on the inside, so I don't throw these packets away once I use them. I open them up and I use them as a little guide for myself. And I also keep a little garden journal where I write down every week, what did I do that week, what's going well, what's not going well, and it allows me to see kind of the fruit of my labor. It lets me see that, hey, yeah, you know what, this really worked well, this didn't work well, you've worked hard on this, this is working, this isn't working. It just makes things a little bit easier to adjust for next season. Chamomile. Chamomile is a great flower for cut flowers, but it also makes good tea, and I just like to see it in the garden, and the seeds are literally dust, like impossible to see. Let me see if I can, in a new package, get you. Yeah. Okay. I'm hoping that the camera can pick up how tiny those seeds are. They're really, really minuscule. So I'm literally just dusting the top of the soil with this. Gonna press it in. And then the finest dusting I can manage. None of this. Okay, that looks good. Now remember, this tray cannot stay out here in this heat. This is cool weather crops. They are going to burn up in the summer Texas sun. But if we don't start them now, we'll have nothing to plant when it's time. Our ideal window is so short that we have to use every advantage we can get. Foxgloves. Foxgloves are a classic cottage flower, and I think they are stunning. Now they are biennial, they take 2 years to flower. I had just gotten mine to flower when the hailstorm took it out, so we're gonna start some more. Now these are so small, the seeds, it's even smaller than the chamomile. Like, you can't even tell you planted it. Let me see if I can show you. Too much dirt on my hand, you're not gonna be able to see. Okay, there we go. Now sadly, I am the same color as the seeds almost. No, it's okay. Okay, so you can see how tiny these seeds are. They're absolutely minuscule. But I start a few in each one. You can separate them later if you need to. But the goal is for me to have the garden ready to plant these in just a week or so. Top it up with just a very light covering on top. The goal here is just to keep it from drying out. And now, some Bachelors buttons. Now I'm going to use some seeds that I've saved. And because I saved them, there's a lot of stuff in here that's not seeds. There's petals, stamens, all the like little bits. So it's going to look like I'm planting really heavily. But really, that's the seed right there. That's one seed right there. There we go. Alright, I think we got a few in each cell. I'm a messy planter. Okay, press in. And we're good. Let's get this tray inside.